Hey everybody, Vance from FishingWithVance.com. Today's video, we are going to do some Pelican Bass Raider modifications. And today's modification is going to be something I've been wanting to do for a while, which is I've never catfished off the Pelican at night. So I want to put some additional lighting on that Pelican Bass Raider. So I'm going to start out by putting some LED lights that I just got yesterday, some battery operated LED lights. And what I'm going to do is I want to mount these on the bottom of our utility table. So I'm not sure how much light that's going to throw off. I don't want a ton of light up in my eyes so that I can't see what I'm doing, but I would like to have it shining down toward on the water and towards the floor of the boat so we can kind of see what's going on. We generally catfish off the bank, and we do fine, but I want to take it to a whole new level this year. So the first modification that I'm going to do is I'm going to put this strip of LED lights on the bottom of our utility table, and then we'll see how that goes. The next thing I'm going to do is, in the second video, this won't be on the first one, but in part 2 of this modification of the table, I am going to mount new pole holders specifically for the catfish. Right now we have pole holders, as you know, if you've watched the channel. If you haven't, go back and watch all of our utility table modifications for the Pelican Bass Raider. And you'll see that we have multiple PVC pipe that we put poles in. And that's awesome. It's great for us to switch quickly whenever we're switching baits and so on. And I think we'll be able to use some of those for catfishing, but I want to actually mount some pole holders that go on the end of the utility table. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to double that up as something to hold the net. But anyway, that aside, today's video, we're going to hit step 1 of the modification of that utility table for the Pelican Bass Raider is LED lighting on the bottom of it. So if you're into the Pelican Bass Raider mods, stay tuned. Thanks for joining me today on FishingWithVance.com. Alright, here we go, guys. I'm going to put, these are the light strips, the LED lights. They're battery operated, like I said. And I'm going to put these on the bottom of our Pelican Bass Raider utility table. And again, the idea here is I want some light on the bottom that's going to shine down, so it's not really shining up in our eyes, and give us enough light so we can catfish. So here's the lights I got. I just got them on Amazon. They're just sold more. They were not that expensive. I think it was $12 for 2 strips. So first thing I'm going to do is put 3 AAA batteries in here, and then start putting them on the bottom of the table. Alright guys, so the ones I bought here, they don't have a remote control. So they just come with this, I don't know if you can see that, they just come with this basically, a switch here, the mode, bright, speed, and color. I believe we're going to shine down white, but we'll see once we get out there on the water some night. We might be switching it, but now that I see that I don't have a remote, I thought I was getting a remote with these, but that's my fault. I'm going to have to make sure that the battery pack and the switch are mounted either up on top of the table or nice and convenient to the side underneath the table for us to turn it on and be able to get to it. So we'll figure that out when we go. But first, let's get some batteries in it. Let's just see how bright these pups are. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it looks like that's going to be as bright as it's going to be. So, and then mode, that's always on. So I'm going to leave it like that. Alright, so I got these guys the color I want. So I turned them off here. I think I like that blue. I'd like it to be a little more white. Maybe that's better. Whatever's brightest, we'll keep playing with it when we get it out there. Well, let's see how dark this thing is, or how bright it is. But let me shut off my, I'll shut off, I don't know if the camera will get this. Let me shut off workbench. off.
Okay.
He likes to mess with me once in a while. Alright. Now, let me shut these off. We'll see. I don't know if it's going to be bright enough or not. If not, we'll keep putting more lights on. But we will. Alright, so workbench on.
Okay.
Alright, so anyway, that looks like that's the color we want. So, and then we got to figure out how I'm going to mount this and then go from there. So, I'll see you over at the boat. Alright guys, I'm back. All I did here is, in order to work on the table, this is the bottom of the utility table. And got a few remnants on the bottom of this. This is the original guy. Those of you that haven't seen, this is how we mounted our Lowrance, which actually worked out really well. The transducer mounts to the side of this. I'll show you right here in case you haven't seen that. But that's why that board's on there that extends out. It actually works really well. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Now, the bottom half here of the table is where I want to run this lighting all the way around the outside of it so that it shines down, and a little bit will shine into the water because this guy extends out a little wee bit right on the edge of the boat. So, all right. So all I did to work on it, I just flipped it up. Let me come around this side, and there's our. It's being held up right now by our one of my pole holders. So I just flipped it up like this, and all I want to do is I should be able to go around. Now this end is going to end up being over here. This is the back of the boat, so this is where old Vance sits most of the time in this seat. So this thing's going to flip back down, so when it flips back down, so I think I'm going to want this connector and this guy to be either right up on this side of on top of the table, or right up underneath right here, so I could easily turn it on and off. And it looks like the on-off switch is, look like it is right here. So anyway, so I want to end up with it up on top of the table, I think, and go from there. The only issue is, now these are waterproof, but the only issue is this isn't going to be. So it would make more sense if I could tuck it up underneath the table. Now this is maybe out over the water a little bit. I'm probably going to want that right in the middle if I can, on that side. And I think this is pretty light, so I think all I'm going to do is some type of Velcro. So I'll be able to just pull it off, turn the switch on and off, and put it back on, and it'll stay there. That's what I'm going to try. I'm going to try to use some big strips of Velcro to put that on, or several small pieces of Velcro. Alright, so let's get to it. Let's see how it goes. I know one thing, these guys, these are sticky. The back side of this tape should peel off right here. I'll put it up to the other camera so you can see. And I think you get one crack at it from doing my son's that goes on the back. There we go. See, this is going to peel right off. And then luckily we didn't flex seal under here. And I already wiped this down so that it's going to stick. So I'm probably not going to go way out on the edge. I'm probably going to go in a little ways. So it's not right on the edge, and also keep it a little bit from rain. I see I got some things over there I want to remove. I'm going to remove these. We haven't used these much, so I'm going to go ahead and take them off. This is when we catch a big fish. Sometimes we would clamp to it and let the fish swim in the water while we, we're looking for our scale and things like that. But we haven't really used these all that much. So I'm probably just going to take them off and get them out of the way, and again reduce some of the weight on this thing. But I definitely got to get that guy off. All right, so I got my trusty Makita drill driver. These things are lightweight, and as my partner High Life would say, these things run like a raped ape. But there we go. Onto that, and we will take this guy off. Gonna swap out my Phillips head for the flat. Alright, like I said, I think this was a mod that we were doing to put a cell phone under here, and it didn't quite work out, so this guy's gonna come off so I can get the light strip. These drill drivers, they do the job. Alright. There we go. Whole piece of plexiglass. I'll hold on to this. I'll throw this guy in our mod box. You never know what old Miller Mod is going to come up with next. So there's no sense in throwing this away. Hold on to this guy, just in case, you know, he comes up with something. We probably want to put it up on top. I know he talked about modifying the table where we put like little legs on this guy and then put it in the middle of the table to kind of make a shelf in the middle of the table. And then we'd be able to put, if it was raining, we'd slip our cell phone underneath it. It would stay dry. And it would create like a little shelving. So we'll hold on to this just in case. Alright. So we got a few of the things out of the way. And like I said, I want this to end up, this table's going to come back here. So I'm going to want this to end up basically right up there. I'm going to, because I want plenty of light. And not only one of them is going to do it. So I'm going to set this like this instead. And then I can mount it anywhere. And I'm going to want this button to be right here. So all you do is start peeling this tape off. And don't pull it all off. Pull off just what you're going to put down. And I'm probably going to come back and put I'm probably going to come back and probably put some electrician's tape over some of it in order to have it stay. I don't trust this stuff. One cool thing about these is they bend very well. If you've ever worked with this stuff, they'll bend in a corner pretty well. Now I'm definitely going to put some tape in those corners. Definitely. Alright, so yeah, we're going to use two of them. One just isn't going to do it. So I could have got the kind that plugged into a battery, but again, I was trying to keep this a little simple. Just trying to keep it from getting too crazy. You know, sometimes battery operated works just fine, because I don't see us using this a ton. So I'm going to go around the other side. I would see us using this whenever we are going out early in the morning, something along those lines, for sure. And there you go. Or, like I said, if we're going to be catfishing. All right, so it looks like I have enough for half the table here, and I even came in a little ways. But I want it to be pretty bright, and I have two of them, so I'm just going to put a little bit of masking tape every so often just to give it a little more support, because this thing does get damp and it is going to get wet, but I don't want to take away from too much of the brightness, so I don't want to put too much tape on. I definitely want to support these corners because they will in fact fall off. I know from putting them on the back of my television monitors and things like that. So all I'm doing now is taking this Velcro, patches, not getting them out of the box very good, and I'm just going to add them on this right here. I don't know if this will hold this or not. We'll see. If not, there's always big Gorilla Glue tape guy. That's not how to do it. Way to go. What a Jasper. Alright, put one more in the middle here. So this should do it. I don't know if it'll all pull off of here. For some I got to change the batteries, but if it does, who cares? So let's see if this works. The switch is right there, and I can get access to turning it on right here. So let's put this guy down like that. Oh yeah, he ain't going anywhere. Alright guys, so there you have it. I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I think, as I think about it here, I want to try this one out before I put another one under there. And sorry about moving the camera. I'm gonna try this one out before I put another one under there, just to see if it's bright enough, if it's actually gonna be bright enough and do the job. If it doesn't, then that's fine. We'll figure something else out. And put some other lights underneath here in order to do some catfishing, or have some light for early morning when we first get on the lake. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'm going to turn this table back over now, turn the lights off and turn it on and see what it shines down. I'll probably come back out in the garage after dark. It's still daylight out there, so I'll probably come back in after dark and light it up again and see what it looks like, and go from there. Stay tuned. When we test this thing, I'll let you know how she works. Thanks for watching. FishingWithVance.com.